All right, and we are back live now, about to get the next round started. But first, we're taking a quick clip. We're watching a quick clip from Erica in Stranger Things to see what's happening there. So we'll tune in back to the stage.
The role of Erica Sinclair is played by a phenomenal actress who is just incredibly popular now all over the world. And the actress is wonderful. Her name is Priah Ferguson, and she's here today. Let's give it up for Priah Ferguson!
Priah Ferguson in the building here at the Global Amazing Shake Competition. Everyone is on their feet here. The students are so excited.
You can hear the crowd. One little girl over here to my right just grabbed her face and went, she was so excited. Got a lot of fans in the building.
A lot of fans.
Oh my God, thank you so much for inviting me here. I'm so proud of each and every one of you all.
These kids are going to be so nervous.
Oh my goodness, don't be nervous, don't be nervous. I'm nervous.
No, you don't be nervous. So these kids are in this incredible competition. They come from all over the country in Canada. They've flown here from Hawaii and Nova Scotia, and they're really delightful. We have 24 final students, and what's going to happen is we're going to bring 6 kids out, and you're just going to have a conversation with them.
Okay.
It's just relaxed, getting to know them. If one kid is kind of monopolizing and talking too much, maybe say, oh, I want to hear from y'all too.
Okay.
And someone else. Don't let one kid talk the whole time.
Okay.
Because it's 9 minutes per group. We'll do it 4 times, so like 36 minutes. And then the judges are going to be scoring.
Okay.
Okay? You ready for our first group?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to bring up the
Let's
first.
have our
This is the group
first 6.
interview.
Head
They're
to the
getting
stage.
interviewed and
Come
having
on
a
out,
conversation
everybody.
really with an actress from Stranger Things, which is really cool. So it's going to be interesting to watch to see how these students do.
Yeah, these students, some of these are going to be starstruck. They have no idea who they're walking out to speak with, so it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, so let's tune in as they get seated here in their seats with Priah Ferguson from Stranger Things here at the Global Amazing Shake Competition for the group interviews, our top 24.
From this 24, we will learn who our top 10 are, so this is a very, very important round.
Very important round, indeed.
These are the students who will advance tomorrow morning and be the top 10 all throughout competitions tomorrow. So this is the final round of eliminations for today.
Yes, and tomorrow is going to be a full day just of competitions as well as we dwindle down. So we'll see. All right.
Hey you guys, so I'm gonna get into some questions. I'm really excited to be here, and yeah, we could just get into it. So explain to me what this competition is all about.
So I guess I'll start. Hi, my name's Lucia. I feel like I've said that about 10 times today, but still Lucia. So to me, this competition is just a way to learn and grow. So I am here not to win, I am here to become the best version of myself that I can. This is my first time doing anything remotely similar to talking in front of a bunch of people with Priah Ferguson. Like, whoa. So to me, it means a chance to grow and to become the Lucia that I know I can be.
Great.
I love Lucia's answer, and something I would also have to add is that it's all about your personality and how you say things and how you act and how you respond to like questions in serious situations, in situations that you weren't prepared for. So it's really about getting you prepared for hard times that you have to get through and how they get other people through hard times too.
Again, just to echo Kinsley and Lucia, first, thank you so much for being here. But also, the Amazing Shake is about making the mistakes right here in this practice round that doesn't count for when you're an adult, instead of making them in a huge business interview or when you're trying to ask somebody out, because we don't want to be lonely forever.
Piggybacking off of what he said, yes, it's about mistakes. You're learning and growing and being the best version of yourself, like Lucia said. And this competition is all about leadership and getting out there, putting yourself out there, and really getting into your personality, because that's what makes you stand out in this competition, and it's just all about you.
I love that.
I'd like to add that it teaches us professionalism, but it's not all just sitting in a chair and talking to someone for an interview. He makes it fun. He throws situations at us, puts our poise under pressure, kind of shows what we can deal with, and it kind of lets us know what we are fit for and what we can do.
I totally agree. You're good. I totally agree, though. It's anything that we could possibly want to do with communication. He throws us into those switches. They throw us in a more well-rounded person for communicating and giving first impressions for the future.
What do you enjoy most about the Amazing Shake?
I will start again. I'm just gonna put this here so you guys can hear me. Sorry about that. I love the people so much, and I know if you've heard me talk, you've probably heard me say that a million times, but if you've seen the people here and you've met them and you've met the judges, you met the kids competing, each and every one of them is amazing, and this is like one of the very few competitions overall out of every single kind of competition that I've been to where all the people are positive. Now, one person has been like, yeah, I'm gonna beat you. No, you're terrible. You get backstage, you finish your run, and people walk up to you and they're like, you did amazing. Wow, I was so impressed. And Dante, actually, we got backstage and he goes, wow, how do you stay so calm under pressure? And I was like, I don't. But the people here are just incredible.
I'd also like to expand. Everyone here is very supportive. A couple kids in my classroom, Cornell, Jack, Wyatt, in Crew A, they've all been super supportive. Whenever I got it, that didn't make it were congratulating me, as well as some people that did make it. And everyone's just so supportive and so nice, and it's just nice to be in a place where you can fit in and they accept you for who you are. Even if you may do some things that you think are embarrassing, they're still supporting you, knowing that you are putting your best effort in.
Going off of what they said, I'd also like to add that also the situations that they bring into this place is amazing. Like, you'll be put under pressure within like 10 seconds. You have no clue what to say, but you got to go along with it. Like, that's what'll happen whenever you get older, try to get a job. They'll ask you questions that you just don't know, and you have to answer on your feet as quick as possible.
You all have anything you want to add to?
Well, I think one thing that I'll definitely say, this is one of the major competitions, and the main competitions that you can just be yourself. You don't have to be athletic, you don't have to be super smart or very much ingenious in math, science, or history, but you have to know some politics. But if you can just really be yourself and use your funny nature, or if, like Lucia, if you're poised under pressure, you can use that, and this is it really shines. Also, the Amazing Shake is something that you will use for the rest of your life.
I love about what Kinsley said, like it throws situations at you that could happen, like the Booger Burger station at the Gauntlet. You have to keep a straight face while you're telling people that boogers are nutritious, and it's very funny. But stuff like that could happen, not the booger part, but just rude customers trying, and you have to keep your poise, and you have to react to that situation and with your employees. And just, I love that the real life scenarios are happening here.
What everyone has said has been really well put. This competition is something different than anyone else has ever experienced. Even if you think you've experienced something like it, you have not. I came into here, thinking it's a competition, everyone's just gonna be mean. I play competitive soccer on the side, I play competitive soccer. Anyway, and, it's always competition, and it's always, who's the best, who can win, pushing each other to be our best on the team, but, ultimately, it's everyone wants to win the tournament, the cup, and everything else. But here, it's been mostly supportive. Everyone I've talked to here has been super nice, accepted you for who you are, and has been super supportive on, yeah, go get them, go win. So that's just amazing to me.
If I were going to enter the competition, what advice would you give me?
I'll go ahead and start it this time. I would tell you to prepare. Obviously, there were a couple of things that I didn't know that I wish I would have known going in. People that checked the YouTube, there was a link. It gave clues, the red ribbon clue. You could get a free 20 points. There was the rose clue and the work the room that I wish I would have known. So really just be attentive to the YouTube and the login, and also just be ready for anything. There were situations that I was thrown into that I was like, I was not ready for this. Like having to trash talk in boxing was not something I was expecting to do in a professionalism contest.
I would love to add on to that. Just when you're here, enjoy the moment. A lot of people get caught up behind the stage of nervousness and like, oh my goodness, what am I going to say this next round? But they don't think about where they're at now. They think, oh, I'm here, but what am I going to do next? So just enjoy the moment that you're in and take the time to be appreciative of where you're at.
Something else you'll probably need to know entering this competition is to have your personality. You cannot even stay in this competition without your personality. If you don't show it off, then you're not going to make it. It's all about you being you and showing off how you would react in situations and how, like, you're you. Like, I know I've seen your movies, so I know you have a special personality. So I know you have that personality that can just tell everyone, I know what's going on here, and I'm going to roll this.
I think she nailed it. But in addition, one of the most important parts of this competition is staying calm under pressure. Not only is it one of the criteria that you're being judged on, but it's also important if you want to do good things. For example, for me, if you look at your scorecard while you're competing, I promise you, you will psych yourself out and you will not unlock your full potential. So, for example, for me, like he was talking about, the boxing one is hard. I ended up not doing so well on it, and for the next gauntlet, I really let it get to me, and I let it discourage me, and I almost let that ruin me. I let it break me for a little bit, so I think that's definitely important. Remember that you are amazing, and as long as you stay calm and know that you know this, you will do amazing.
Yeah, and like Kinsley said, use your background, use your personal experience. You can't talk about anything if it's not who you really are or if it's not something that you've done. In The Amazing Shake, you have to act, you have to memorize these lines, and we had to do a monologue, so I know you would be specifically great at that, especially the Erica ones. But pull from your personal experience and your background, otherwise it'll be shown that you're fake.
All right, thank you. It's time. Good job.
Our first 6 students from among the top 24, they're being scored on several different things because we want to understand that it's how they interact as a group.
Yes.
You know, if somebody's monopolizing the conversation, some students were very attentive listeners. They were listening to everyone's comments. Others seemed to be more distracted. Some were actually speaking to Priah as well as the audience, and I think that's very important because she's having a conversation with them. So the judges are watching everything, not just what the student says, but how are they interacting with everyone else and not monopolizing the conversation.
And a part of a good conversationalist is to be a good listener and to build on what the person said. So if Dante was building on to what another competitor up there said, then the judges are like, wow, they were actually listening and not just listening to talk.
Right. Not pontificating.
Right.
And so that's what they're looking for, and really watching their body language on stage, how they interact. And so you can tell that some of them seem more at ease, and some of them look like better conversationalists. You still have to be able to get your voice heard, though, too.
Yes.
You can't be so submissive and, after you. You're not.
It's a delicate balance.
It's a delicate balance. So those 6 students have gone. We're going to have another 6 students who are going to come out momentarily as soon as we get them mic'd up, and they will continue the conversation with Priah.
Yep, so she'll get to ask them, I don't know if she'll ask the same questions or not, or she'll ask them new questions, but look, how cool is that? They get a chance to interact with Priah Ferguson, an actress that they all love from a show that they all watch. So we like to bring those special surprises, those big moments here to the Global Amazing Shake competition. I want to take a moment just again to shout out our sponsors for the Global Amazing Shake competition, the Home Depot. Thank you for sponsoring as our presenting sponsor here this year, and also LED Atlanta. This beautiful wall that you see behind us here with all the graphics, all the images, they provided that support for us.
It is epic. I want to keep it here forever. I know we can't, but it is absolutely beautiful because it enables us to spotlight every single child in the competition, their faces all throughout the ceremonies.
I want to give a shout out to our production team here as well, the media team. Media team, they're phenomenal. The Tim, Paul, the whole crew here, just incredible, making sure that this show comes off smoothly, so we appreciate that.
There's a lot to this, and they've done a phenomenal job. So now we have another 6 students. Let's see how they do, and some of these students who scored high in other rounds, is this a forte for them as well?
I'm Priah, and I'm just going to ask you all a few questions. I'm really excited to be here, so we could just hop right into it. So you all are very talented individuals. Can you all tell me about a contestant here who really impressed you this weekend?
Well, I know I would like to start by saying Tiesha. She's incredibly talented. I'm sure we all saw she got 2nd place last round, but not only that, I saw her last year. She did incredibly well last year too, and I'm just constantly wowed by her, and I really hope that she knows that. I hope she knows that we're all rooting for her. All of us, I'm sure that we all probably thought of her 2nd or 1st. But yeah, I really think that she has what it takes to do well in this competition.
Yeah.
I see. Can I have the mic? Oh, I really respect Lucas Couto. I see a lot of myself in him. We both have that same charisma and charm, and that takes you a long way in this competition. And I take a lot of things from him, how he's intelligent and formal while still giving his charisma and showing his confidence and making jokes. And he's a great contestant, and I think he's really going to go far here.
And adding going, I'll pass it on to you. But speaking of charisma and just intelligence, I feel like one person that I truly respect is Dante Beaumont. I had the honor of being with them in our amazing shake at the Ron Clark Academy. And I just got to say, like, you would think that what he's doing is a front, but that's actually Dante. Like, Dante is exactly what you get. Like, his outside, he's an open book. And he's just so amazing. Like, it amazes me how happy you could be and how invested you are in education. Like, he really likes the space. He likes stars and things like that. And when you really get to know him, it's like you're just stuck in his eyes. Like, he's very convincing about what he says. So I feel like when I think of somebody who's an open book and who's very charismatic, is Dante.
I definitely think Bobby Applegate, because when we were in our crew room, she was always so encouraging for everyone, and she was just like, I hope you do well, you're going to do amazing. And she just got that really nice personality that kind of lights up a room. And I just think that I wish she was here, and she's going to do great things.
So one person that I really look up to and want to aspire to be like is Karime Kaylee. She is in our top 24. She is just such a confident and loving person, and I just wish that I could mimic that the most to the most of my ability. I feel like she's such an amazing person. Her confidence, her perseverance, everything about her just makes me want to be like her.
Well, Gregory, he is amazing. That speech he gave when he answered the question about would you rather have a personal driver or a personal chef, it was incredible. Like, I love the way he answered it, and he inspires me every day and at this competition.
Did y'all see that yesterday in the NCAA tournament? A 16 seed beat a number 1 seed?
Yes. Actually, I was so surprised watching that game. I have this betting thing with my friends, right? I bet on Purdue. I bet $100 on them. When I saw them lose to FDU, I was like, how do you fumble the bag this hard? I've never personally, I've only been watching the game for about a year now. I've only been playing basketball for a year now. Seeing a 16 seed beat a 1 seed by that big of a margin too, it's just such a crazy thing to witness with my own eyes.
Well, I'm not really a basketball fan, but my family definitely is. So getting that energy back, like, I don't know anything about basketball. I don't know anything about anything. But seeing the reaction of my family, like, for instance, my little brother, he goes crazy for basketball. My mom's husband, even more. I don't know, like, they notch it up times 10. So seeing the family room, eating pizza, all that, and as soon as there's an uproar or overturn, it's like awards just happened in the house, and I don't even know what's happening. I'm just, rooting for the team my mom rooted for. So, I'm happy when they're happy.
So I'm not a basketball person, and I actually wasn't watching the game. But then I was just on my phone, and everyone was posting on their stories. They were like, the 16 seed just beat the 1 seed. This is so insane. Oh, my God. And I was just like, okay. So I turned it on, and I was just, because I'm not much of a basketball fan, and if I try to shoot a basket, it's not going to go well. So I turned it on, and I just started to watch it, and I was like, wow, this is actually pretty cool. And I think I might start to watch basketball more because who knows, there could be more upsets coming along.
Well, building off of Justin, I don't watch basketball. Like, I have not seen it. But my friends in the car were just going insane.
So again, like most of us up here, I'm not much of a basketball person. I don't watch basketball often. But I did see, like you said, a lot of people posting about it and texting me, and I was completely clueless about what they were talking about. So I went online, and I was like, what are they talking about, 16, 1 seed? So I was looking, and it was just the difference between them was ginormous, and then the score was crazy, and it was just a lot to process.
I know nothing about basketball either. Even in the gauntlet today, when we had to make the winning shot, I was so far away, almost hit the judge. It was really scary. But yeah, I know nothing about this. Nothing. But I feel like if you work hard enough, you could do anything. You could I don't know what that's called, the seed, whatever. I'm sure if you put in the work, you put in the effort, you put in the hours, that team, whoever won, they worked incredibly hard, I'm sure, and that inspires me to do the same.
Great, yeah. Do you think it means more, it's another basketball question, do you think it means more for the players of a 16 seed team who beat a number 1 seed than a number 2 seed that beats a number 1 seed?
I think personally, and I've gone through this actually. I've been that 16 seed before. I think it's more important, Priya, to be that 16 seed beating a 1 seed because all that work you've had to put in already to get to the NCAA tournament, and then to upset a 1 seed, that's such a great accomplishment for you to do. And even if you're that 2 seed beating a 1 seed, you're already like one of the greats. You're already a 2 seed, so just being there is already a great accomplishment. But I think it means more to the players because we know everybody's gonna have to work so hard, because there's only this tiny of a chance that you're gonna get into the NCAA tournament. And then if you're a 16 seed, sure, at first you're gonna be down in the dumps and you're gonna be like, oh, we're the 16 seed, we're not gonna do that well. But then you have to think, no, we're gonna take this 1 seed out. We're gonna go out there, we're gonna give it our best, And my mom always tells me this, she's in the crowd. She always tells me, if you give it your best shot, you're gonna do something. You're gonna get the reward you want in life. And I think it just speaks to the 16 seed FDU on how they beat Purdue in this game.
And I'll pass it on you, I'm sorry. I think I understand what they're talking about now. So I agree with Gregory. I feel like when you're so low on the seed list, I feel like you got a different type of hunger. When you're that low and you know you have to beat the highest ranking number 1, you have a different type of hunger because you know that's the only chance you're going to get. You know you have to work 16 times as hard, twice as hard. You know you have to work so much harder than the number 1 seed just to beat them. And you know nobody's rooting for you. You only have to root for yourself. Your coach is going to root for you, your family. But virtually, it doesn't look like you're going to win. So that really just it really just revolves around like how much you're motivated to win and how much you really want it. So I feel like the motivation really matters. So yeah, I agree with Gregory.
So like Justin and Gregory said, it's all about the mindset. I mean, these are 16 seed people who maybe didn't do as good before, but got into that tournament, and that mindset that they have, we can do this, we can persevere, we can get through this, we can beat them. And look what they did. They made it through and they beat them, and it was a huge gap, and it was amazing.
I think in sports, being mentally tough is the most important thing. And being the 16th seed, like to say what Gregory said, maybe they were like, oh, why are we the 16th seed? How come we're not the 1? And I just think if you have that mindset that, okay, we're the 16, no problem, we can beat the 1 seed. And look what they did. So I am guessing that their team had great mental toughness and that they used it to persevere.
I agree. But like the 16 seed team, it's just so impressive that they can beat a 1 seed team. I don't really know much about basketball, like I said, but now I'm starting to catch on. It's just the mentality, building off of the other people. It's just the mentality they had to have and all the integrity. And they want it so much, and they just want to beat the 1 seed team.
This seed that we're talking about, it honestly reminds me of this Amazing Shake competition that we're in right now. Last year when I did this, I didn't make it past, I think I placed top 30 overall. But the fact that I'm able to redeem myself and do better, the fact that I made it this far, the fact that all of us did, that is an accomplishment in and of itself. And I'm just so proud and grateful that we have the opportunity to do this. So maybe I can be the 2 seed, who knows? But we'll see where this takes me.
Thank you, everyone. Good job. So if y'all could stay seated.
They don't know a lot about basketball. Is that a fair question? Well, it's not if they know anything about basketball. Are they conversationalists?
Yes.
It was charming when they said, I don't know anything, but I'm
Yes.
catching on.
But
Let me tell you what you need to know. So I think it's great.
It's just being able to think on your feet and to find those connections and to find that common ground. Like that last contestant just brought in how related to the Amazing Shake that she's competing in right now.
Clever.
And so she made it relatable. I think the judges will score her in her favor for that because she doesn't know anything about basketball, but she said, what can this compare to the Amazing Shake? And let me tell you why.
So we've all been in a situation where everybody in the room is talking about something that we're not really well versed in, or it's not an interest of ours, but do you just retreat then and not engage, or do you try to engage somewhat? And we were trying to see how well they did that, and they did a very good job
I
of
think
that.
so as well.
Yep. Brought their sense of humor in. I don't know anything about that. I'm catching on now.
That was hilarious. Again, if you're just tuning in, this is the Global Amazing Shake competition. We are having many interviews with Priah Ferguson. She's an actress on the Netflix show Stranger Things, and this is the top 24 students. They're having many conversations in groups for 9 minutes each. 2 groups have already gone, and we have 2 more groups left to go.
And these students really love Priah, and it's really wonderful. They're really being judged on how well they listen to one another, how well they are engaged in the conversation but not monopolizing it. Are they speaking to Priah as well as the audience?
Yes.
All of those things that make them a good conversationalist, and listening is a key part of that too.
Absolutely. The judges are paying attention to all of that here. Priah is not judging. She's moderating the conversation. And we have our panel of judges who are in the front row paying attention, watching those subtleties. How deep did the students go? Are they charismatic? Those types of things are being scored here. So let's tune back into the stage.
I'm going to ask you all some questions and just get into it. Okay, so you all are obviously not shy, but I have a friend who's really shy. Do you all have any advice to help her get out her shell?
Okay, so being shy is a really common thing, and I feel like that's something you can improve on. It's nothing bad, but I feel like learning from that is very important, and you have to just face your fear when you're shy, and that's one of the best things that you can do, and I feel like that's just very important to have.
Oh, and also I was going to say that instead of, coming out of her shell, maybe she can use her shyness as a superpower and use that for her to improve in the world and being herself. Maybe that will help her go far instead of trying to be something that maybe she isn't.
As someone who is a formerly shy person, I would totally recommend The Amazing Shake because that's what brought me out of the shell. And I also agree with Alec, it's face your fears. You won't regret it.
So I am basically saying the same thing. I was actually a shy person because my heart is beating incredibly fast. But it's all about being yourself. If you're pretending to be someone you're not, you're going to be shy because you're trying to come up with a lie, say, well, who am I trying to be? So just be yourself and it's all good.
I couldn't agree more with everyone in this room. Honestly, the biggest thing is pushing yourself because you can never grow if you constantly stay in the shell that you are in. You have to push yourself beyond what you think you are capable of because otherwise you will never be able to reach your full capacity.
I love that. I love that. Before I start, I would like to say thank you for the question, and I'm so grateful to be here. I think something that really can help you get out of your shell, I really appreciate what Dylan and Alex said about how, it's shy isn't necessarily a bad thing, but not caring about what other people feel. I find a lot of time, in the past that I also, sometimes didn't try my hardest or came out on the stage dancing, or maybe it wasn't my full energy because I was kind of scared that people would judge me or people would think of me bad. But as soon as you turn that switch at The Amazing Shake, I turn that switch and suddenly you're on and you want to make sure that you don't care about what other people think and you got to care about what you want to do and how you want to do that. Thank you.
If you could go back in time and change anything that happened over the past 48 hours, what would it be?
I think what I would change is the nerves. I think being on this stage was so hard. If I looked back 48 hours and I was like, dude, you're literally top 24, I would have been like, are you kidding me? I think getting over the nerves is so important because we are all here for a reason. And I am here because I deserve to be. And so getting rid of those nerves and knowing that you only have to be your real authentic self when you're out here is really important. And I didn't know that until I was here and experiencing it and in these rooms full of people. So I think that.
And I would have to agree with Evelyn. Evelyn, you're such amazing, and I know you had such bad nerves, but you really come out of your shell, and you're just really amazing. But also, if I can go back in time, I would probably change some of my answers because when I went back to the room, I was questioning, did I really say that, or was that somebody else? But, I want to use those answers and the things that I said to improve, and I want to be better every time. So thank you.
If I can change anything, I will change me doubting myself because I thought I would never be up here, and I also would like to change my friends right there. I wish they can be right here with me. I love y'all. Mwah. But yeah, so I would really change doubting myself because I am here now. I did this by myself and also with the support of my family there. Yes, so I will definitely change doubting myself.
Yeah, something that I would change is to meet as many people as I can. I tried to yesterday, but I was a little nervous in the beginning because I've never met these people before. But I met a lot of people, but I feel like I could have met more people and just came out of my shell more. And I feel like that's a great thing to do because you have friends that are behind you, rooting for you, cheering for you. And I feel like that's an amazing thing to have.
I love that. And like, all of these answers are really good. Like, I could definitely agree with all those. But I think something that I would have changed is being stressed. Like, I had the news on the TV practically 24/7. And as like a really empathetic person, I found like it emotionally drained me a lot of the time because I was hearing about all these like bad things on the news, and I felt bad for these people, or like disgusted at what some of these people could be doing. So I feel like I would have just taken back, make sure I keep my emotional and physical strength good instead of trying to delve myself into it 100% and maybe make myself not feel the best coming into this competition.
If I could go back 48 hours, I would definitely want to believe in myself more, just like Daisy said, because I went to the Amazing Shake competition last year and I did not do too well. I didn't even make one cut. And now I'm sitting here and I would not, if I went back, my past self would have been like, you're lying. So I would have just believed in myself more and set more goals for myself.
Yes. Is there anything you would like the audience to know about you?
Oh, yes. I have something really really cool to tell you. So Atlanta is like crazy cool. Okay, so basically the first time I came here, I'm from like Halifax, Nova Scotia, which is actually like the biggest city in all of the Maritimes, but Atlanta's way bigger than here, and it makes me feel like I'm a small town kid, even though I'm a big city kid back home. But I guess in Atlanta, like I went to an Atlanta Hawks game with my mom, and I was absolutely blown away by all the players. And like the city is so crazy, like the size skyscrapers. Like I walked down staring up, really scared that something's gonna fall on me. But yeah, it's a super cool city.
As someone who was originally from Colorado, I moved to Texas. That's where I'm coming here from. I came from a small city, Corpus Christi, by the way. And just coming back here in a bigger city, I feel more at home because I was closer to Denver, Colorado, where, again, there were skyscrapers. It was a big city. And I really like just seeing all the Coca-Cola Museum, drinking all that soda. I loved it.
Yeah, Jack nailed what he said, and I feel like it's just really different to be in a new community, in a society, and I feel like Atlanta is just a home for everyone. I feel like the sporting events, you could go to museums, there's just a lot of amazing places that you could go to have fun while you're at the Amazing Shake, which is one of the top places that you could be right now.
Can you ask the question again? I forgot it.
Yes. Is there anything you would like the audience to know about you?
Oh, of course. So there's a lot of interesting things about me. So I was like so nervous when I first came here because I was like, I'm not going to make it. I do the same thing every Amazing Shake competition and I still make it. So I feel like that's just a part of my routine. Yeah. And I'm also a very big fan of Priah. Like, when I thought Mr. Mark Clark was joking when he said we finna talk to Erica, I'm like, is we finna talk to a fake Erica like we did with Wednesday? And when I looked, I was like, oh my God! It was very good meeting you. I'm a huge fan. You're my inspiration. I love you very much.
Yes, you're talking to the real Erica, not the stunt double. Any of you?
So, one more thing I'd like to tell you guys about myself is I could talk about the things like I love theater or I do sports, but those are surface level things, and I've been taught that I need to dive deep because that's how you guys are going to get to know me. And I want to talk about the role I have as a sister. I am a sister of 3 siblings. I have a sister, Amelia, and 2 brothers, Owen and Elliot, and I adore them. I love my family, and that's something that I take pride in. They're not here with me today, but I wouldn't be who I am without them. My older brother, oh my gosh, I could talk about him for hours. I love him so much. He's like my superhero. He inspires me to be out here. Honestly, I feel like I've said this a lot this weekend, but if I looked back a couple years ago and saw myself doing this, I would be in awe. And I'm so proud for that. But I think my brother is more proud of me than I am of myself. And he's always been there. And it's helped me to be able to be more empathetic, more sympathetic with people, and learn more about people and how to people. and it's really just made me who I am.
Thank you. Okay.
Up there, and I thought it was interesting. Priya asked them if there was anything that they wanted to share, how some of them talked about the city of Atlanta, and then some kind of brought it personal to say, hey, let me tell you a little bit more about me and who I am, and try to make that connection with Priya if possible. So
it was really great, and what I love too is some of these students here talking about it's the first time they've been to a big city like Atlanta. So just even that experience for them has been wonderful. Felt like the buildings were falling on them. I thought that was cute. But just that whole idea that they're on a trip to Atlanta, they're going to get to meet people from all over the country. They're staying in a nice hotel. They're getting to come to something like this. That's something we'll remember forever. I hope.
We're adults, so we sort of take it for granted. But putting ourselves in their shoes and experiencing all this weekend, it's a great experience. It's something that they won't ever forget. I mean, I remember some of the first trips I took as a student as well, and this is nothing compared to what I was able to do.
And it's going to be easier for them to stay connected. We talked about the trials with technology, but that's one way it is going to enable them to stay connected with each other, which is a positive that they can take from this, right?
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, tonight, after all of this, we're going to have a big bash and a party where these kids are going to get to hang out. So they're going to really love that. So our last group of 6 from the groups of 24 top finalists. And so last group, and then after that, we'll be naming the top 10 who will advance through to tomorrow.
The top 10 will be having their names in just a moment after, as Kim mentioned, we go through these 9 minutes with this next group, and as they get situated here on the stage. So we'll tune in live to hear what they have to talk to Priya about. So let's take a listen.
Hey everyone, so my name is Priya, and I'm gonna ask you all some questions.
So I think this group had actually been already taken to the green room before, but yes, this is Priah Ferguson, who plays Erica Sinclair from, y'all heard, from Stranger Things.
That's crazy. That is.
Oh my.
I was like, I saw him like, wait, she looks so familiar. And I was about to say like some like random like, are you the girl from Friday? And I'm like, that has nothing to do with the thing.
Yeah. So I would love to hear about the best thing about the city you all are from.
You mind if I
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I would love to hear about the best thing about the city you all are from.
Okay, well, I can start.
Okay.
I'm from right here. I'm from Atlanta. As some people might say, I'm an ATLian, but the thing I like about my city is the amazing opportunities. I'm a performing artist, so like similar to like I act, I sing and I dance. And there's a lot of opportunities to just get involved in the industry, auditions to audition for different shows. I believe Stranger Things was filmed not too far from here.
It was filmed like literally right up the street.
Exactly. So I just know there are many opportunities for me here, and so I can't wait to be able to take hold of that. It's such a big city full of so many possibilities.
Yeah. You mind if I take the next one? So I'm from Orlando, Florida. So yeah. Yes. So Orlando it's Orlando. It's so big, and there's so many things that you see there that you question yourself. You're like, what just happened? Like I was telling them like a while back, like some of you guys, that I swear like there's a lot of homeless population there, but they even start teaching yoga lessons. Like I swear I saw some homeless people doing like downward dog in the middle of the interstate. It's wild. It is wild. But I think that you have so many, like they should say, you have so many opportunities, whether you have the amusement parks, a lot of tourism, but again, it just brings so much opportunity to do different stuff that you're interested in. If there's something you want to do, they probably have it in Orlando.
I love that answer. I love Orlando. It's my favorite vacation spot. I'm from Nova Scotia. I'm from Halifax. It's in Canada. And what I love about Halifax is it's a place that I feel like a lot of people haven't heard about, but it's also a place that I feel so lucky to be in. And I think that's what is incredible about it, is that nobody knows it's such a beautiful and special city. And as a kid, I thought a lot about why I was lucky to live where I was, and things like there's no tsunamis, there's no twisters, things like that, things that people have to worry about on a daily basis. In Nova Scotia, you can just live your life, and you don't have to always be worried for your life, and things like war aren't happening. And it's just, you don't realize how lucky you are to live in such a, what most people would say, a normal place. So lucky you are to live in a place where you're not known for war, where you're not known for having these big disasters, and I feel so lucky to live in Nova Scotia.
I believe my city it's great. It's got everything you may need. It's got so many opportunities. We're big enough where it can be considered a big city. We've got lots of opportunities in our city, but it's also not too big. It's a small town also, so I would say it's in between a big town and a small town, but there's so many things to do, and I think it's doing the best thing a city can do, especially our size. Albertville, Alabama, we're growing. We're constantly building new buildings and getting new things for people to do, and we recently got a new a new rec center, and that's expanding, and I think that's the greatest thing our city can do is keep expanding. And I'm just proud of my city. And I'm also, it's not just my city, but it's something special to me is most of my family lives around my hometown city, and I think that's really special.
I love that answer. Also, hi guys, I'm Karime. Y'all already know. I'm from California in a little city called Beaumont, and represent. But our community is so little. We have very little schools, so whenever I'm in the grocery store, I see my teachers, I see my friends from different other schools, I see people from Mountain View, San G, which are here tonight, woohoo! So it's really cool having a small community like that, because I see people that I know everywhere. So I'm at the park alone, somebody rolls up, I know them, I can just hang out with them, and it's cool having a community like that, because you're all so close, and you all know each other like that, and you guys all have a bond.
I mean, how do you follow such great answers? Like I mentioned before, I'm from Honolulu, Hawaii, and I think the biggest thing about living on an island for all your life is that everyone's connected. I mean, throughout this entire experience, sometimes I run into someone I know at the grocery store, and they're like, hey, I went to college with your mom. And I'm like, that's cool. I don't really know you. But at the same time, I can run into someone and say, hey, I know your auntie. I'm like, yeah, I know you too. So I think the biggest thing about Hawaii is the community there. I mean, you can go around, and then everyone here is just so welcoming and really bringing the aloha spirit. So I think the big thing about my city, Honolulu, Hawaii, is that I can just feel at home wherever I go.
I love all those answers, and I think the big reason why that is because we all come from, I feel like, small places, and yet we all feel so connected, and that's why the fact that they're small is what makes all those places so special.
What are you having for